Well, we said goodbye, our fond farewells to our friends Carl and Angie. They have their own YouTube channel as well. They're called Handlebars and Holidays. Carl has, or did have, motorbikes. So if you're interested in motorbikes, he's got lots of videos on motorbikes, reviews on motorbikes as well. But also the holiday side of things is him with his wife in the motorhome that they've got. And also they've just done a massive trip from Perth all the way over to the east, crossing the Nullarbor like we're going to be doing. And they went over to Victoria, they went to New South Wales and Queensland, and they're just about not that far from home now, back to Perth. So we said our fond farewells. It was great to spend time with you too as well, so thank you for a lovely evening. However, they left us about 2 hours ago. So why are we only just on the road? Well, we've spent 2 hours of driving around Norseman, haven't we?
Oh, not 2 hours.
An hour and a half, an hour.
No, not even that. I'd say that last bit was an hour.
So just before Carl left, he says, you do know you don't have any internet connection pretty much from Norseman until you get maybe Baladonia way, which we're going nearby today. We've changed our route a little bit. So he said, have you got your routes pre-planned so you can just, you've saved them? I says, no, I haven't actually. So I spent maybe a good half an hour or so just punching the actual longitude and latitude of the destinations into Here We Go. Here We Go is a satellite navigation app. Some people might not even know about it, but it is 100% offline. What I mean by that is I do still use Google Maps, but Google Maps, you need an internet connection to know where you are for your location before it will plot that route, which is useless if you don't have any internet connection. Whereas Here We Go, and I've just tested this, I've turned off Bluetooth, mobile data and Wi-Fi, so there's no access to the internet at all. I've punched in the longitude and latitude of the destination for where we're going to, and it's loaded it, I've saved it, and we actually have satellite navigation internet free. Assumingly we don't have an internet as yet. We might still have a little bit whilst we're just on the outskirts of Norseman. But what were we doing, love? Going around Norseman, driving around for a wee while as well.
Well, we went to the dump point to empty the toilet cassette. We had to just wait a little while for the couple in front of us to finish. We didn't have a token for the water, the potable water there, but Len thought we could get water elsewhere, but actually on checking again that wasn't possible. So we went up to the visitor centre to get a token, and there was two couples there talking to the lady at the reception. Well, they had been talking to her. At this point she was on the phone, and she was on the phone, and she was on the phone, and there was two couples that didn't seem to be together in front of me that still required service. So I went to the toilet there, came back, and she was off the phone, and they were talking about walks and looking at maps, and obviously that was going to take some time, so I headed back to the motorhome. So at this point we went into the centre to the IGA, and I got some groceries. Of course that takes longer because you don't know where anything is, so got back to the motorhome. Then we thought we need diesel, and at the Ampol there's a chance you can use their water, their potable water. We thought for free, so we went there, then started filling up with diesel. I went inside to ask, and the American attendant inside said for $5 cash he would give me the key for the potable water tap, which we actually have one of those keys, and we could have as much water as we wanted. But as far as we were concerned, we did not need much water, and not more than the 60 litres for one token costing $2 at the visitor centre. So we decided to pass on that and headed back to the visitor centre. Just as we got back to the visitor centre, another motorhome pulled up, and I said, I'm going to hopefully get out and get in front of them, which I rushed out. And guess what? The lady at the reception was still on the phone, was back on the phone again. But thankfully finished her call after 2 or 3 minutes, and I got said token, in which case we ended up back at the potable water near the dump site and filled up.
Which we just done about 20 minutes ago, wasn't it? So
yeah,
we're just leaving Norseman on the towards Adelaide, and Air Highway, isn't it? So that's us at the moment. So we're a little bit way behind time. 4 hours and 16 minutes away from a free site. That might change. We actually might make it 3.5 hours. So we'll see. It all depends on towards the end of the day whether we still have sunlight. We should do, but if not, we might just stop a little bit sooner. We need to have stops, obviously, anyhow, some break stops. So we're going to be at least a good hour on top of 4 hours 15. So we're roughly 5 hours away. That will be about 6 o'clock pulling up, which is around sunset. And ideally, we don't want to be sort of driving around sunset time with kangaroos. So we might at some point stop and then have a shorter destination by about half an hour, something like that. Well, good morning from quite a cool, fresh, windy Domble Gaddy rest area. That's where we are, and that's where we're leaving from now. We stopped overnight here, and it's actually not a bad little spot. Now the wind actually has died down a bit. It's been gusty through the night, but not too bad, and this morning's been gusty again. But take a look at this here. This is actually a water container, water storage facility. You actually can get water from it, apparently. But to be honest, would you really want to use that? Boil water before use? The tap's down here. And this shelter, this would have been used probably still today as well, just for undercover dining, but it's obviously a little bit unkept now. A big old slab this way, which I was saying to Catherine, it could be like a little canteen strip where maybe they made coffees and served some foods from here, I'm not sure. But this bench has something interesting. Like Catherine said, someone's been busy. I think they're the bases of cartridges for shotguns. So we're going to head off very, very shortly. So we are going to be stopping at Eucla on his way for fuel, and then we are staying overnight in another rest area, and I'm not sure what that one's called. We actually just punched in the longitude and latitude into Here We Go. I actually am going to make a video on Here We Go. That's an app, a sat-nav app, which is brilliant, and I'll go into detail in that video. Quick overnighter here as well at 85k peg rest area. This is now the last leg this morning on to Seduna, and then that's the Nullarbor done. It's been 2 nights and a day then. I've not slept the best again. Well, overnight I have for this one, but Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday I didn't sleep very well. So I had a good night's sleep last night. That's really good. It does help. This is where we're at. It's very windy as well, so the sun is to our left, which I won't point to because it gets very, very bright. And this is the rear of the van, the view from the rear of the van. I'm just trying to stay out of the wind. So very remote, obviously, being the Nullarbor. But the actual, well, vegetation, bush, call it what you will, very, very similar. Pretty much all of this throughout. So as I just mentioned, we're making our way to Seduna now. This is the last leg. I think it's about, was it around about 400 kilometres we're doing?
391.
391, minus the one we've just done. So once we get there, we're going to go to either a A1 caravan park, or there's Foreshore, another one that's been recommended to us. So we'll see what we do once we get somewhere near there. We've not had any internet for the last couple of days crossing the Nullarbor, so we can't sort of research them as yet. We should be able to do so once we get to Seduna. That's our overnighter, and then into Elliston the following day, which will be Sunday. Saturday, tomorrow. We're
Yes.
Friday today.
Yes.
You soon lose track of time and days. We've just seen a car back there. It must have been in a crash. It was very much bashed in, and the police stickers was on the vehicle saying that it'd been reported, but it'd been tagged. It had graffiti all over it. Now we're in the middle of nowhere. Who's tagging these vehicles? Is it truckers or is it travellers? Weird. Our arrival time is going to be 12:23, which is a 3 hour and 55 minute duration and 389 kilometres to go. And that's going to be us until 4 hours time.
Yeah.
On this road. Catch up later.
Bye.
Well, good morning from quite a windy Seduna. We survived the Nullarbor. The last leg, so from the last overnighter to get in here yesterday afternoon to Seduna, wow, it was so windy, very, very windy. Up against it as well, it wasn't a tailwind. Yeah, difficult conditions, but we got here, and it's a windy morning start here as well. We'll have a little look around here. It's only a small site, but we did have a sunset last night to have a look at, and we had a walk on the front here, and that was it basically. And we're going to move on this morning. We're planning to go down to Elliston, which is 2 hours and 20 minutes down the road. We'll take in 2 places as well, we think, or maybe 3, but 2 places in particular, which is a big bay, Smoky Bay and Streaky Bay. And that's going to be taking us to maybe lunchtime-ish. And then we'll take it from there with no plan as such for what we're going to do around here in South Australia. We're intentionally going to go to the Adelaide region, so maybe some of the wineries, some of the local towns, maybe hand off. But we've reassessed that and thinking really we're going to be on the road travelling a lot, so we'd rather be having a few days stay in different places. So we're going to maybe concentrate more on this sort of peninsular area, and depending on the wind, maybe more inland. So it's very weather dependent, I suppose, like most trips really. There's Catherine filling up our water tank for the trip. Well, trip down the road, 2 hours, but we possibly could be free camping a fair bit now as well. So we're just going to use the water we have here, fill up, and then we should have a decent supply. So this is our pitch, actually on the lawn, the grass. There's not much grass actually, it's a lot of gravel, but they put us on the only bay left, I think, so we were quite lucky getting in last night. And reception is all the way to the end of the road, well, end of the drive there. Ablution blocks just ahead of me there, which are very good, very clean. Quite windy, as mentioned. And that in essence is the caravan park. So we arrived here in Elliston yesterday late afternoon, mid-afternoon. This is the morning now, so we're just about to leave, but we thought we'd give you a look around here of Elliston. There's actually a scenic drive with sculptures nearby as well, so we're going to take a look at that before we're going to head down to Coffin's Bay and see what that has to offer, and possibly stay overnight there as well. Let's take a look at what we have here. Don't know when this was all decorated like this, but it's pretty much all around the building. And on the front, there's a few empty businesses and shops around here, unfortunately. Around this region in the Eyre Peninsula, it's quite famous for oysters, so there'll be a lot of oyster farms I think around here, and we might see one or two down Coffin's Bay as well. And quite breezy still down here as well. We've had a bit of wind these last few days. These apartments look quite nice. And we haven't frequented the bakery actually, and today's a Sunday, which means it will be closed. But it's pretty orange, that building. And then we have the friendly grocer next door. And there's a nice little reserve just over here. And if you are travelling by an electric vehicle, it actually has a charging station. And we stayed at the G'day, Elliston and Waterloo Bay caravan park. Very quiet. There was maybe 6 travellers there, as in motorhomes and caravans, etc., camper trailers. But back to the van. So we're going to head up to the scenic clifftop drive, which I think it's only about 10-15 minutes drive from here, there and back, because we come back this way to then make us way down to Coffin Bay. So there's quite a few sculptures around this scenic drive. That's the first one we've come to. I don't know if the camera picks it out that well, but they're actually thongs, aren't they? Flip-flops.
Yeah.
So this reminds me of the Easter Island statues. Not sure where Easter Island is, but they look a little bit like that. Pretty spectacular. So I'm not too sure what these represent as such. There's no plaque around it, but that wheat, they do grow wheat around here, so maybe that's symbolic for that. From the van, it doesn't actually, well, it doesn't seem that windy here, but it's quite a blast. But that's quite a size as well. That's taller than me. I'm 5'11". That's quite a big head. And look what it looks out onto or from. I'm not going to get too close to this edge because it's really, that's it, there's going to be a drop, so I don't want to scare all the viewers. And if anyone's wondering whether this is accessible for a motorhome, then obviously yes, it is. It's not too bad, a little bit bumpy in places, a little bit corrugated, but overall it's actually doable. There's another skink crossing the road here. Can you spot the coral sculpture? It's a shame they don't actually have any like plaques to actually describe what these are for sculptures. Maybe it's just open to interpretation. Just about to cross this busy road. Yeah, it's clear. We're the only ones doing this trail. And these three sculptures we've just looked at here are all in the same vicinity, they're all close together. Well, very good. Flies aren't very good though. Naughty flies, won't he? Not sure what that is.
It's a toilet seat.
A toilet seat.
spider or something.
So spider. Oh, it looks like a
Is
spider.
it red? It's got red on its head. Is it red back? Do they go under toilet seats?
Well, that
Which
was
one is
the redbacks might do as well, but there's also the other one, isn't there? What's the famous little funnel web spider? That's under toilet seats as well. Yeah, but redbacks might do that as well. And that looks like it's an octopus. Is it some sort of can at the top? I'm not sure. So a surfer. It's like a wind sail thing, isn't it? What do you call them for measurement?
Oh.
The wind. He's got a great white underneath him, hasn't he?